You had The Crown, Lucifer,
Mm.
The Good Place, Westworld, This Is Us, Fleabag over on Prime Video, American Crime Story premiered in
Jesus.
2016, Atlanta, Preacher, what else? Timeless, short-lived show on NBC, The Lethal Weapon, tried a series that kind of flustered. Marvelous Luke Cage was 2016 as well. If you're hearing this, we want to welcome you to another episode of It's a Sustainable Life with Brandon and Lorin. We are in the last day of November, beginning the last month of 2025, and it has been quite a year.
Yeah.
But how was your holiday and how's your week been going so far?
Pretty good. We didn't do too much in terms of Thanksgiving. Same as we always do. We cooked, watched the parade, which was kind of tradition, and then we just stayed home and kind of chilled out and watched movies. But yeah, it was good. So yeah, not too much. How about you?
Yeah, it was really chill. Mom cooked, and then Brittany and Gary came over, and Gary's niece was in town, so I guess she spent some time with them during her school break.
Oh, okay, that's good.
She's about to go to high school. I didn't catch what school she's going to, but she lives in Indy.
Oh,
So it
wow.
was
Okay.
first time meeting her, and then we just kind of chilled. I had to work that Friday evening at Best
Mm.
Buy, and then on Saturday. But yeah, pretty chill. Just sort of enjoying the not so terrible weather right now. So
Yeah, yeah. Luckily, we didn't get the snow they were talking about. That didn't.
right, right,
Yeah,
which seems to be the norm nowadays. Like they call
yeah.
for snow and then
And then it just
it
doesn't happen.
doesn't happen. Yeah. So this week's episode, we will be discussing the final season of Netflix Stranger Things, which they decided to release in three parts. So we'll be discussing the first two episodes of Volume 1, which dropped the day before Thanksgiving, four episodes in total. But first, we're going to get in some headlines. Let's do a little catch up with our sports in the season right now, starting with college football. We
I
have
know.
some teams setting up to hit some regional championships. More notably, both Ohio State and IU will be facing off in the Big Ten Championship this coming Saturday. Both are undefeated. Both are rivals, basically, somewhat being next door to each other.
Right.
And it should be a good game. I'm expecting some stiff competition on both sides.
Yeah. I think whoever wins, I think in terms of like the college football playoff, both IU and Ohio State will still be 1 and 2. Nobody's going to surpass them. They've been the best two teams this
Yeah,
year. So this just comes down to the best team in the Big Ten, which is like, okay.
yeah, they will.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, they both want to get to that championship game,
Right.
essentially.
Exactly.
Elsewhere, moving on to NFL, we've had some changes of the guard here.
Oh,
Philadelphia lost this past week to the Bears on a
yeah, I
random
saw that.
Friday game. So the Bears are sort of like in hot competition now in their division, especially with the Rams losing to the Panthers today. It puts them in first place. Fortunately, the Colts are kind of struggling as of
Yeah.
late. They
Starting to
lost
play
to the
like
Texans today.
starting to play like the Colts we know with this. I think was that is that 2 in a row? I think they won before they went to Kansas City, and then yeah, they lost to Kansas
Yeah,
City.
they had a chance against Kansas, and of
Yeah,
course, you can never give Kansas enough time
too
to do
much time.
anything.
No, not at all.
Yeah. Surprisingly, I did not know the Patriots were leading their division, so they've had
Yeah,
a
they've been going
massive
crazy.
comeback since the leave of Belichick, who, I mean, it's coming evident that he wasn't the greatest coach.
No,
He just had the good talent around him because
right?
we see what he's doing now.
Yeah,
Basketball, I'm not really keeping up as much.
the Pacers are not doing well, but that was kind of expected. To be fair,
Yeah,
they're four
yeah,
and 16. Um, they beat the Bulls last night on the last second shot, which was
yeah, I
good.
saw that. Yeah,
And the Bulls, who started off hot, are now not doing well either. They're nine
right. They
and
start off
ten.
Yeah, they started
Yeah,
like 5-0, and now
yeah,
they're looking kind of sad. So don't know what's happening there. I
yeah.
really don't get into NBA until like after the first of the year because right now it's all
Right,
sort of not
right.
exhibition, but just too early.
There's so many games. Yeah,
Yeah. We will be getting to March Madness sooner than later. I
yeah.
forget
It's
college
true.
basketball is happening now. So
Right.
IU is still, or did they lose? Did IU lose?
I don't know if they've lost yet. The other day they played Bethune Cookman and
Oh yeah, they
absolutely
beat them. Yeah,
smashed them. So yeah,
yeah. So their basketball and football is looking pretty good, which is insane
yeah.
because the IU football teams only ever had 3 winning seasons in
Which
30
is
years.
that's a crazy statistic.
And they went 11-2 last year, and they're
Right.
12-0 this year, which is wild.
Makes no
Um,
sense. Yeah.
so yeah, I don't know how that happens, but yeah, that's sort of like the sports tick right now.
Yeah.
I know people are gearing up for the Winter Olympics.
Oh
Eh,
yeah. Yeah, I don't care about that as much as the summer. The summer are much more fun. Like,
yeah, yeah. Moving on into some movie news, Zootopia stole the weekend. Zootopia
yeah.
2 actually stole the weekend. Getting the best, I think, debut for an animated film ever. It was like $96 million or something like that.
Wow.
Something crazy. I don't know if that has to do with like the date, time, whatever. I don't even remember it being promoted that much. I thought the movie had already
No.
came out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it topped Wicked for good this weekend,
Wow.
which I thought like divisive stuff about that movie. Like it seemed like viewers enjoyed it, but critics
But
kind of
critics, yeah.
did not like it.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I didn't know Zootopia was big like that. I'm seeing right now that
Yeah,
it did 556 million globally. That's insane.
I knew people. I remember it coming out and folks saying like it was sort of like subtly about racism or something like that.
Huh.
But that's about it. I didn't watch it.
Wow.
And lastly, coming up, Kevin Spacey is about to go back to court in London. He is facing civil court now, as some former accusers are bringing him to civil court to sue since they weren't successful in the criminal court for allegations of sexual assault he had there, as he was sort of like a artistic director at a theater over there. So I think the two accusers are bringing him to civil court, and
Wow.
allegedly he claimed he was homeless because as he's working on some projects, he's just like bouncing from hotel to hotel or something like that. I said, okay, sir,
Yeah.
leave us out of your narrative.
Huh?
That's the main headlines. We're going to go ahead and get into our Oscar talk. Leading up to the Oscars, which are March 15th on ABC, we're going to be discussing the major nominations, see who's up for landing the spot this year, and who we think is most deserving. So, next up is Best Director.
Mhm.
Excuse me. I don't know where this runny nose came from. So, right
Hmm.
now, the director race is looking pretty slim. And this is from Variety as of, what was the date on this? November 26th by their award
Okay.
guy, Clayton Davis. I follow him on IG. Um, but their short list right now includes, of course, frontrunner Paul Thomas Anderson for One Battle After Another, Park Chan Wook for No Other Choice, which I'm been meaning to see since I saw the trailer for that. One of
Yeah.
the stars
Yeah.
from Squid Game is in that film. Ryan Coogler for Sinners, Joachim Trier for Sentimental Value, which I've heard a lot about, and then Chloe Zhao for Hamnet. Um, right now, they're thinking Anderson will take it. Everyone seems to love that film, love the
Yeah.
performances, or love the message. I still need to see it, as well as these other ones, other than Sinners. What's your take so far?
Yeah. I'm kind of in the same boat. I think PTA will get it as well. He seems to be the favorite right now, and that movie is being highly talked about. Hamnet hasn't come out yet here. I think it comes out soon. Sentimental Value as well. I've heard a lot about that. Sinners was very good, and yeah, no other choice. I think I just saw the trailer for the first time for that movie last week, so uh, curious to see how that does. But
Yeah.
yeah.
All I know about No Other Choice is like the main character is trying to get this job, and there's like a
Right.
coworker, I guess, ahead of him, and he resorts to some very discrepable ways
Right.
of eliminating the
Getting there.
competition. Yeah. So yeah, that's the race for the Oscars for Best Director. Like I said, the Oscars are Sunday, March 15th on ABC, and Conan O'Brien will return as host. I forgot he hosted last year or this past year. I
Oh, really?
went right out of my head. And that brings us to our feature presentation. So, as we stated before, the fifth and final season of Netflix's Stranger Things has arrived. The first volume premiered 8 p.m. on November 26th. And of course, the site crashed for about 30 minutes because everyone was trying
Yeah.
to get on to watch at exactly 8 p.m. Um, so, we'll be reviewing, discussing the first two episodes. So if you haven't seen the first two episodes, spoiler alert, we'll be getting to the nooks and crannies of the first half of volume one of season five. Just a little retrospective here. Stranger Things premiered back in 2016, so almost nearly a decade ago,
Wow.
when these young adults were tweens. And just to give an idea how long ago that was, here's some other shows that premiered that same year. You had The Crown, Lucifer,
Hmm.
The Good Place, Westworld, This Is Us, Fleabag over on Prime Video, American Crime Story premiered in
Jesus.
2016, Atlanta, Preacher, what else? Timeless, short-lived show on NBC, The Lethal Weapon, tried a series that kind of flustered. Marvel's Luke Cage was 2016 as well.
Wow.
Kim's Convenience.
Yeah,
So
there's
all
been a
these
lot of shows that
shows,
have
yeah,
started and ended.
since 2016, since
Yeah.
Netflix launched, or since Stranger Things launched, and it's kind of crazy that it sort of outlasted quote unquote the competition.
Yeah.
Mainly, COVID was a big issue, other delays and whatnot. Also, just kind of shows the makeup of the TV industry nowadays, how these gigantic gaps between seasons kind of not only delay the story, but then delay attention for the story.
Right. Right.
So yeah. Also in 2016, Netflix raised their price to $10 a month. If
Oh
we
wow.
remember
Yeah.
before that, it was $8. That was their first dollar increase, and now,
It's
yeah, just too
insane.
much. Definitely too much. So just given this thought that this was back in 2016, this was sort of like Netflix had hits, but this was like a different type of phenomenon.
Right. Right.
Definitely with the nostalgia of it all. It was hitting a specific demographic. Um, Kids who are adults who were kids at this time will be watching or remembering their time in the 80s, similar to movies like The Goonies and
Right.
uh, Gremlins and all that kind of stuff. Personally, how would you rank the first four seasons of Netflix if you had to?
Okay. Yeah, I thought about this a little bit. One thing that was funny to me about Stranger Things is when it first started, I genuinely had to look up if Hawkins, Indiana was a real town because it sounds like a place that would be here,
I did the
but it
same
is not.
thing.
But I think they did a good job of kind of capturing, well, small town Indiana, kind of like I wasn't around in the 80s, but some of those towns still look like that. But uh, but yeah, it was kind of cool and how the state has played into it. But to answer your question, for me, season one goes in first place because when it first came out, like you said, it blew up. It just took over. It was everywhere. Everything was talking about it. It was on the news here. It wasn't too long after the sports teams were hooking up with Netflix to do stuff with it. So it was really
Yeah,
kind of interesting. But that season had so much kind of nostalgia. It was fun. Um, this whole idea that 11 had these powers and uh, it's just this kind of like ragtag group of kids. So yeah, that was fun. So season one, and then second season or the second one would be for me season four because that one had like I know a lot of people talk down on it, but it had like horror vibes. There were type episodes that felt like slasher films. I'm talking like Michael and Jason type stuff. So I
Mhm.
really enjoyed that vibe to it. Uh, Three was good too, and I think that's the one where we first got the mind flayer, and that's when things kind of got ratcheted up, kind of like the problems. Like, oh, okay, this is much bigger than what we thought. So
Yeah,
that was cool. And then not that it was bad, but season two was hard because it had to follow season one. Like you anticipated it, and it didn't let you down, but it just wasn't the
yeah,
same. So yeah,
yeah. I think I'm the same way. Hold on, I think I'm about to sneeze.
T-
Okay, season one definitely is at the top just because we didn't know what to expect, and then once you
exactly.
stepped into that world, like the nostalgia, the mystery of it all, these new fresh faces we had never seen before, and it being slightly scarier than I expected it to be. Like first time seeing the Demogorgon and like they trying to kill kids. Like
Right, exactly.
it interesting. Definitely season four just because of the horror elements, um, and the way Vecna was introduced and his powers definitely gave a different slant to the series. Season three, again, the Mind Slayer, Flayer,
Flair, yeah,
Flayer, yeah. I actually love season three because of that. The whole like body snatchers thing, which I wish they had
yeah.
sort of expanded on, and also season three because of Darcy Montgomery. Like his performance as
Oh
Billy, I
yeah,
think
yeah.
really carried that season. The introduction of Max and that whole scenario, I really enjoyed. And then last would be season two, just because like it follows season one. There's a lot of hype for it to sort of
Keep up,
compete
yeah.
with. Yeah. So the same. So what were your expectations for this fifth season? Like what did you have in mind, hoping to see? And how are you thinking this season will end? Like what's your ideal ending for Stranger Things?
I think coming into the season, I honestly didn't know what to expect. I knew there was going to be a bit of like a time jump, and I was just kind of like, how's this going to work? These kids do not look like teenagers anymore. How is that going to work? But so far so good. But I thought that since it was the final season, every episode is going to push towards that big finale, and I was hoping that didn't show in the writing. Like I was hoping that like the writing wasn't so focused on the end of Stranger
Yeah,
Things, and so that's something I was hoping didn't happen. And there's still a lot of episodes to go, so we'll see. But as in terms of the actual show itself, I always feel like with shows like this, you're gonna lose a big character. And that's something that I'm expecting. I don't know if that's going to happen, but we still have a lot more episodes to go. But yeah, and I figured they would figure it out, but there's going to be some losses on the way, and yeah. So I don't
yeah,
know. I'm curious.
yeah. I was going into this season thinking we'd get some type of like the full merging of the Upside Down into
Hmm.
Hawkins or vice versa. Um, and like you said, like leading to the finale, not sort of like talking about it. I
Right.
kind of wanted something like life to just be like happening and then things call sort of like accumulate into like this big crescendo.
Exactly.
I do expect some deaths just because we haven't had any main character deaths
Right.
whatsoever, and that's been sort of like a critique from fans is that we get introduced to side characters and then the only deaths are those characters.
Right. Exactly.
Other than season one when we lost Barb, who
Yeah, that's
unfortunately
true.
deserved better. Um, but yeah, that's I kind of have the same feeling. So let's go ahead and get to the first episode, which a quick synopsis. The Crawl. We're back in Hawkins. It's 1987, so a few years
Yeah.
later. Um, Around November, the military has sort of occupied Hawkins permanently because of the uh, catastrophe that happened last season with the Earth splitting open and everything. They sort of spun propaganda to cover that up. Our main four are older in high school. I guess they're seniors now, or
I guess so. I'm not
they
really
haven't
sure
really
what this.
said.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're in high school. 11 is missing. Max is still in the coma, and that's kind of where we start. Like the upside down is like the elephant in the room in the town. Like they kind of know what's happening, but it's all kept hush hush to sort of protect people, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
And we see eventually that that is a bad idea. Um, what do you think was good in the first episode for you?
I think what was good was that they didn't wait to get back into it. Like it was almost immediate that things were popping off again. So I thought that was good. You kind of get the characters back and you understand the dynamic again. Um, what else? There's a lot of oh god, what are the characters' names dropping? I had to remember some things because I was just like, wait, hold on, what happened in the last season? But um, oh God, what is his name? The little boy with the curly hair. He was like he's like the tech
Dustin.
guy. Yes, yes. His whole character. He's not happy. These past seasons, he's been the
Right.
one hyping up his friends and oh, we
Yeah.
got to do this. But it's Billy or Eddie rather, who is gone and who he's kind of mourning, and that
Mm-hmm.
plays out through that first episode, which is kind of cool. But then yeah, I just thought it was good how they just automatic. They didn't use an episode to kind of get us back into it. The first episode has a good amount of action, good amount of story, but yeah, so I enjoyed that.
Yeah, same here. I think Dustin's arc right now is really interesting. Um, he's grieving Eddie, who he was really close to. Has kind of changed
Right.
his sort of optimistic demeanor the most. Um, I also liked the pairing of Steve and Robin. Still seems to work since they're like
Yeah.
older. Is really good, and I liked how everyone kind of, like you said, just kind of went back into right into the story. We didn't need like a full blown recap or anything like that. Didn't waste any time. Let's see. I forgot that like the buyers didn't have anywhere to live. Like they just
Yeah. Yeah.
moved back to Hawkins, like, and are living with the Wheelers, which gave me mad Home Alone vibes. Like all these
Yeah, I can see
folks
that.
in one house. It definitely reminiscent of that. Um, yeah, we're just kind of back into it, and I think right now Dustin's arc is pulling me the most. Dustin and Karen. I think Karen has always been a really good character.
Oh yeah.
She's smart. She's sort of like objective. She doesn't get her emotions because in the first season, you thought she was just like the stereotypical like popular girl, and they kind of subverted that trope to make her more of like a low key. She's like the Linda Hamilton of the series, if you will. She's very strong willed, smart, knows what to do, and everything. What do you think didn't work so well in the first episode for you,
Hmm. Well, that's a tougher one. I have to see.
if anything?
Yeah, nothing pops out like right immediately about what didn't work. Like I said, I mean, maybe it will come back, but the whole angle with like the bullies, that was kind of something.
Yeah, I
I
thought
can't
they
remember if that
would.
was the first or second episode, but yeah,
Yeah, that kind of, you would think they would let that go since it was like, I
yeah,
guess people still think Eddie did something, but he's dead, so I don't know why you would still hold it over their head.
yeah.
Um,
And one part that killed me is when they come up to him in the cemetery. They're all like, "Oh, I bet you didn't see this," and blah blah. And then one guy's just like, "Hey, hi, how you doing?" I was like, "What the hell is he doing here?" Like that doesn't even fit the whole vibe. But
yeah.
yeah,
Um, yeah, for me, it's very clear that they're not kids anymore,
yeah, yeah.
and the cuteness can't hide the lack of skill because some of these folks
Right.
cannot act.
No,
Like
this
some
is
people
very
are
true.
like emoting, others it's a little struggle.
Right.
I'm not gonna say who because that's not fair, but some scenes it's like,
Right. Yeah.
ugh.
And that's another thing though. Like that's what I was saying is because we know the end is coming in the show. Some of the writing can seem kind of sped up. Like like oh, what's the point in building the story when we know it's going to end? There's not going to be another season, and
Yeah.
it's like ah, okay. And
Yeah.
also, timeout. I I for the life of me, and I know it's been 3 years since season four. I cannot remember the girl Holly. Did she just like pop up? Where did?
They always had a little sister, but she was very young. Like she was
Oh,
like
okay.
toddler. And they recast her for this season because I guess she's supposed to be older, but she
Yeah.
was always in the background. Like she wasn't.
Okay. That makes much more sense because I'm watching these episodes with this little girl. I'm like, hold on a second. Who is that?
Yeah, she was really, really young. She wasn't. She was there, but she. I don't think she had any speaking parts. Like she was just
Right, right.
in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um. And then some nitpicky things. What did you think about the de-aging of Will for that flashback scene?
Yeah, it didn't look anything like him. And when it started, I thought it was a completely different kid. But I thought it was a good way to explain Will's connection to the Upside Down and Vecna and why he can do what he can. But yeah, initially I was like, who the hell is that? And then I realized, oh
Yeah.
wait, that's Will.
And that's my only kind of major uh blight spot is that I don't think they centered Will enough throughout the series.
Right. For him now to have such a big
Such
part.
importance. Yeah, like he's the one that went missing. He came back. He was somewhat tainted in season two,
Right,
but then
right.
that wasn't really explored anymore, except when he got like the goosebumps in season three. But season three and four kind of abandoned him at the center and was like, when are we going to get back to the root of this? So that's the only thing that kind of holds me back. Like we're just now getting back to him being like central
Yeah.
of the story and the whole like queerness of it. Like, is he gonna come out? Like, what are we trying to do with him and Robin? She's
Right.
not really out, but is this all an allegory for him for coming out? Like what? Like what is? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a lot.
But it will be interesting to see how he plays a role. Could we see that Vecna kind of shows him as like this vessel or whatever, which I honestly wish they explored more, especially season three, with like
Yeah.
the body snatchers. Like, I think honestly, if I was writing, I would have had Will rise as a villain in season three, and season four, them trying to get him back, or I don't know, just something
No, yeah, I
more with
understand. Yeah.
him. So yeah, the crawl base. I'm gonna sneeze. Come on. Thank you. Bless me. The crawl, like we said, we're back in Hawkins. The military's there. They're trying to prepare for Vecna's return, which sort of makes their defenses weak because they're not really paying attention to anything else. And that kind of leads us to the vanishing of, and for the longest, they didn't say who the vanishing was of because they didn't want to spoil it.
Right.
But by the end of the episode, we see that Will is having these visions, and he's seeing in the Upside Down that the Demogorgon is attacking the military. Um, Hopper has infiltrated himself down there because they want to find Vecna. And Will sees that the Demogorgon is headed to the Wheeler's house in Upside Down, which means he's
Yeah.
going after uh, Will and Karen's family. No, Mike and Karen's family.
Right. Right.
And this whole time,
I
Holly
think
has
it'd be
been
Nancy.
Nancy. Well, who's?
Karen
Oh,
is her
Karen's the
mother.
mom. That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Nancy and Will's family.
Yeah.
And while everything else is happening, Holly has been kind of experiencing an imaginary friend. Which is she too old for that?
Right. Well, that's the thing. Nobody knows how old she is, so maybe she's not. It's like,
You see her like talking to this person who's not there, and the parents go to the teacher to talk about it, and she says his name is Mr. Whatsit, which is sort of like a riff on A Wrinkle in Time, and
yeah.
come to find out, spoiler alert, which this was not. I don't know why they didn't. This part was a little confusing. Like, how did you not think it wasn't
It's
Vecna?
like,
Like,
yeah, who else would it have been? Yeah.
like you guys are all worried about Vecna, that you missed him when he's right in front of you. But anyway, turns out Vecna as Henry is her imaginary friend, and he has sort of persuaded her to come to the house, and he's coming for the rest of them. But the Demogorgon attacks them in the home, which I thought was a great sequence. It was
Yeah, that's
definitely
incredible scene.
giving the horror elements of last season and some of the first season as well. Um, Karen Wheeler is a G. Like her standing up to defend her daughter was pretty dope. But now Holly has been kidnapped by Vecna, and both Mr. and Mrs. Wheeler are in the hospital recuperating.
Yeah.
What?
And just
Go ahead.
oh no, ask your question.
No, I was going to ask you, what do you think was good about this episode?
Oh yeah, I like you said, that whole sequence where the Demogorgon attacks the house, what like you said was really well done, and how they tried to fight back and everything. And yeah, I think the scene that really got me is very tense is when they were hiding in the water, and the Demogorgon is like, well, he hits the door, they're not behind that. He checks somewhere else, they're not there, and then it's like, well, they didn't go out of the room, so they got to be in the water. And then
Mm-hmm.
the dad comes in, I think, and hits him in the head, or something happens that allows them to break free. But yeah, that was an intense scene, and I thought that was very, very good.
Yeah, I liked all those scenes. Very well choreographed. So she's kidnapped. Both Will and Nancy feel extreme guilt, and especially Nancy, because it was sort of like Barb all over again. Like,
Mm-hmm.
this is your own sister. You guys
Right.
didn't tell her about the upside down and the monsters that were real, and she snatched away just like Will. And they feel like, how could this happen? And of course, Caleb's like, y'all,
It's
why
almost
wouldn't this happen? Yeah,
yeah.
it's almost the exact same date when Will went missing. It's sort of like the same MO. So yeah, I don't know how they didn't expect this to happen.
Right.
So she's gone. 11 and Hopper have gone in the upside down to kind of track her down. And 11 has been missing because the military has put like an
It's
APB
yeah, they're
out
like
on
looking for her.
her.
Right.
And she's been training in the woods like Rocky with her powers, which is pretty cool. Um, the acting is not so great.
Not great. Yeah.
Like
No other
she's
way to put it.
she's really struggling, and like most of her scenes are with Winona Ryder and David Harbour, who are like adult
The
actors. So like
actors.
the skill set is like night and
It,
day.
and my thing is like, how has she not gained the power to talk normally yet? This like, come on. Her
Yeah,
forming her sentence, this whole thing is very strange. Yeah, like
like
it's
she's still talking like she just got out of the lab.
exactly
Um, so yeah, she's been training to fight Vecna, and her and Hopper are going upside down, and they're kind of tracking her. Um, Also, the military has set up an upside down since they know about it, and this is where Linda Hamilton's character is located. Um, she's just dead set on finding 11 and arresting her for what exactly?
whatever. Yeah, I guess escaping. I have no clue. Yeah,
Like she's like the scapegoat basically that they're blaming her
right.
for. Um, and they discover that 11 is down there, so I'm guessing they'll run into each other eventually. Meanwhile, Max is still in a coma, so Caleb isn't given much other than to just sort of talk to her in the hospital room, which
Right.
she could at least wake up in the second episode to give us some like to do
Yeah, yeah.
something. I'm guessing she'll wake up eventually, but they could have just given us one scene of that. We know she's not going
Right.
anywhere.
And one thing the show is doing a lot of, which again, it doesn't have many episodes to get through, it's just almost like too much foreshadow. The whole thing with when he's talking to her, then it's getting over to her heart rate. It's like, okay, well, we know she's gonna wake up at some time. Like, you
Yeah,
just wouldn't do that. The little thing where I think it's that episode where Mike gives Holly the little doll.
yeah.
Again, more foreshadowing,
Defense
and
where you're gonna get attacked. Yeah,
exactly, and that whole thing where that little character in his games can open dimensions. It's like, why else would he say that? Like, come on, something is going to happen. But that segues into what I didn't like about episode 2, and it's literally they have given Holly so much lore. I know she was a little girl in the past seasons, but then we jump into these episodes and we're just supposed to accept the fact that this girl who didn't have speaking parts in the other 4 seasons,
Right.
is now like the focal point. It's like, wait a second, it's
And
like, what's
honestly, if you wanted to do that, you could have just focused on Holly and four new friends who aren't
or something? Yeah,
related to Dungeons and Dragons,
right,
or her and Erica, or something to where we get to know her and her
more,
emotions,
yeah,
and like the older kids come in later. That could have been
right.
something, but like,
Because what was also weird is that obviously the girl that plays Holly is a young. She clearly looks young, but she seems to be playing the girl playing Holly almost seems too smart and too intelligent for whatever age she's supposed to be playing. She seems like she's supposed to be playing much younger.
yeah,
It's like,
because she has an imaginary friend, and it's like,
right,
is
this
she in
isn't clicking.
kindergarten? Is she in
Right.
first grade? Because the girl is tall
Yeah,
for her
she's very
age,
tall.
and like, it just, I think, yeah, that would have worked if we were just introduced to her and her friends and them living under this military stuff, the
Right.
rumors of the stuff, the rumors about her own family, how she defends them, how maybe she wants to get information about stuff and they don't tell her. Like that would have been
Exactly.
a conflict, and then she snatched. Like
Right.
that would have, yeah, we should
It'd
be
been something
writers.
different. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, what else happened? The whole thing with uh uh what's Will's mom's name?
uh.
Joanne?
Yeah.
Joyce. Joyce.
Joyce.
How she doesn't want Will to get involved because she's afraid he's gonna get hurt. Ma'am, he is
The point. He
the
is
point.
the story. Like, leave it
Yeah,
alone. You've been asking him to stop doing shit for 5 seasons. Get over it.
right. And like him teaming up with Robin seems interesting. He obviously has a connection.
Right.
Um, and again, I think them unknowingly or unconsciously or like aligning this with coming out. Like
Mm-hmm.
he was supposed to be, queer in the first episode, which I totally missed. I don't remember that being
Did not
discussed, but like now that's part
get
of his
that vibe at all.
character. He's teaming up with someone who is like know who she is, but she's not publicly out because it's Indiana in the '80s. Like it wouldn't happen. And like, is Upside Down supposed to be like the closet and like defeating Upside Down? He's supposed to come out. Like what? What are we
I
doing?
really, I really hope not. Honestly, I just don't think that would be pulled off well. I do not think they have the ability, acting ability for one, Jesus Christ, to pull that
Yeah, he's
off.
another one that hasn't
Yeah,
graduated
yeah. He always
yet.
turns around looking so sad and surprised. What were you surprised about? You've been doing this shit for 6 years.
And he like has the deepest voice out of all of them and just doesn't it doesn't
Hey, and I
convey
got
very
called
well.
a timeout because what did they do to Caleb's hair? That shit. When he first came on the scene, I was like,
It's just straighten it up. Give it
yeah,
some soul glow or something. Make it wet, something.
absolutely no hairline. If you have a fro, you still have a hairline. Like, that's crazy.
I don't know. Very
Yeah.
bad. But yeah, Will and Robin are going to just like secretly duck off so
Mhm.
they can use him to locate Vecna. He realized he has a connection, and his visions earlier, he thought he was seeing what the Demogorg was seeing. He's actually seeing what Vecna is seeing. So he's
Exactly. Yeah.
exactly tied to that
Yeah.
creature. So that should be interesting. Dustin and Steve's relationship is very interesting. I think Dustin may have the most surprising arc out of everyone,
Yeah. Oh,
just
easily. Easily.
because Gayton is a very good actor. Like
Yeah.
he emotes very well.
I was just about to say that. Very expressive. Yeah.
He's doing it big. Him and Steve sort of have this riff because I think Dustin basically was under Eddie's wing, and now
Right.
that he's lost him, like him and Steve have relationship is sort of frayed from what it used to be,
Right.
which is interesting. Will's brother, why is he still here?
Yeah. I don't know, man. He. Yeah.
Like they haven't really done anything with him.
No. No.
Like he was
That's funny.
dating Nancy, they're
Right.
not dating anymore. He's just kind of there. He could have died, honestly, because there's too many people in the cast already.
It's
Like he could have
crazy.
died last season or
Yeah.
season three. Like if
Um,
Will had gone evil, he kills his brother and like the body
yeah.
snatch thing, and they mourn. Like that could have been
Because I'm thinking
like
through the first 2 episodes, he and Nancy really don't have any
scenes
talking
together.
scenes. Yeah.
It's him and Steve, him and Dustin. Like he does not have anything. Maybe it'll come later, but him
Yeah,
just fixing the satellite and arguing with Steve, like he's really not important
yeah.
anymore,
And you're
unfortunately.
absolutely right about there being too many characters because they kind of are just giving people roles. Like, um, you see that more in episode three, which I won't go into. I've watched episode three,
Okay.
but again, it's kind of like we don't need this scene. Please
Yeah.
exit
Joyce
stage
isn't really
left.
doing
Like,
much either.
yeah, she is the one.
Like, ma'am,
Like, I'm sorry, Winona, but please,
yeah, she could have died too,
yeah,
or
or go
stayed
to
in
go to
California, or
go to
something.
Dayton, anything,
Do
please.
something. Visit family
Right.
in Cherville, Martinsville, wherever you come from. And Murray, why he could have died,
Yeah,
honestly, if he
absolutely.
wanted to kill someone, because he's not very pertinent
No,
to the main cast. He's annoying. He's a Zionist, the actual actor. He could have been gone.
that's funny. But
So
yeah,
yeah, overall, episode two is definitely better than episode one, given
absolutely.
the stakes and everything. And we find out by the end of episode two that tracking the Demogorgon and Holly's belongings, there's this giant wall of
I don't even know what that is. Yeah, it's weird.
stuff, and 11 believes Holly is behind because she can't sense her with her abilities.
Right.
So, and I guess that's where the house is, and sort of like the different dimension and whatnot.
And I was
Um,
trying to remember, did they ever explain how Vecna and all that came to be? Because for some reason, I don't know why, but my mind was like, where did all this come from?
so season four, they explain that um, uh, Henry's family moved to Hawkins,
Yeah.
and something was they believe the house was haunted because something was like killing
Oh,
the animals and stuff like that. And then one night, um, something came for them. The mother and daughter both died just the way Vecna was killing folks in the present day or
okay.
whatever. And then Vecna came for the dad, but since he was playing music, he was able to escape it, but he scratched his eyes out, and that was Robert England's character.
Got
But
you.
it
Got
turned
you.
out that Henry was Vecna. He had some type of issue, so
Right.
they
Right.
sent him to the lab to be fixed, and he started attacking them. Um, and 11 basically fought back and sent him to Upside Down, and he blames her for becoming Vecna, and that's why he's sort of after her.
Got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a lot.
Yeah, so I'm not sure where it goes. Next, we have two more episodes in Volume 1. You said you've already seen episode 3, so I'll watch both those episodes to get caught up. And then Volume 2 drops on Christmas Day.
Yep. And then the
So,
final episode is New Year's Eve, right?
correct. And we'll be
Yeah.
also dropping in theaters as well,
That's
because since it's 2 hours long.
Jesus. And that's the thing. That first episode was an hour and 11 minutes. But, and you know what? Honestly, I texted you. I thought that was going to be a big problem. But one thing that has been a constant through the three episodes that I've watched is that they're bad writing, bad acting, whatever. They're all very engaging. So the time passes
Yeah,
very well. So it's like,
that's
okay,
good.
it didn't feel like I was here for 90 minutes, which I was.
Right, right. Stuff moves along, which is good.
Right.
Yeah. So we will return with our thoughts on the rest of volume one, first four episodes soon in the next episode, and now we'll do our streams of the week. Not much.
Mm-mm.
Nothing really new has come out until next month, but I've been watching Welcome to Dairy.
Oh, okay.
It's all right. I think the earlier episodes have been better. Um, this was episode five, I think.
Okay.
Um, there's a lot going on. They have a lot of moving parts. Some work well, some don't. Um, we finally see Pennywise in this episode, so Bill Skarsgård has appeared. I just don't
Okay.
know. just don't know where it goes next because I'm not really familiar with the It franchise and how it works or whatever. But
Yeah, right.
um, I do think we should have got a series about Chris Chalk's character, Dick Halloran, and like his shining ability, because
Mhm.
that's I think where the show has its strengths when it focuses on him and his connectedness with the universe. I think that would have been a better show,
Yeah.
but that's neither here nor there. Um, and then Apple TV's Pluribus has been
Yeah, I need to
top
get into
notch.
that. Yeah.
It is really good. And given I never watched Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul, I get the hype. Vince Gilligan is very good at what he does. Rita Seahorn is excellent. And in this last episode, she's the only person on screen for a good, I think the whole hour or 45 minutes, however long the episode is.
Wow. That's
She's
incredible.
she's she's carrying it. So she should definitely be on that short list of drama actresses
Yeah,
for
for
the
sure.
Emmys
For
next
sure.
year. And the show is very interesting because some people say it's about the rise of AI. Others, you can kind of contemplate that it's just sort of about um, sort of commentary on community, especially after the pandemic, like sort of like that fracture with others. It could be about individualism and not losing oneself or losing oneself to sort of like this false sense of individuality.
Right.
It's very good. I don't want to spoil too much, but episodes drop every Friday, which is basically Thursday night for Apple TV because they release everything early. But new episodes every
Okay.
Friday.
Yeah, I towards the end of the year, I just lose all will to watch anything, and I've actually gone through all the streaming networks I have, which is too many, and I've removed the shows and movies I don't plan to watch. And my thing is, I'm trying to watch all the movies so I can start January 1st, clean slate, zero things on
That's a good
any watch list.
idea.
Like
Yeah,
then I'll go back and let me add this as it comes out. Let me add this. That way it's not
yeah.
just 20 things sitting there for you to watch. You're like, no, no.
I do that too because there's stuff on like my Hulu watch list that I never got to.
Exactly. Like I went on there and I was like, when did I put this in Netflix? It's been in there for months. So like I'm not going to watch this. Let me just take it out.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch that movie with Julie Louis Dreyfus. No, you're
right.
not, Lauren.
No,
No,
absolutely
you're
not.
not.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
that's a good idea. Just sort of clear it out, and then jury one, you kind of just see what's coming out. Say, oh, I'll definitely want to watch this. Definitely want to watch that. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
And trying to get, I don't know when. I'll probably get the Oscar stuff maybe next year because that's when they'll probably be
Yeah.
available to either rent or stream. And then Sundance is in March. They're already promoting online tickets or
Yeah.
whatnot. I
Check
don't
that
know,
out.
girl. If you charge $200 to watch one movie, I won't be there.
I I promise you, if that thing had gone to Cincinnati, which I know it had a small chance, I would have lost my mind. That would have been insane.
I would have been
Like,
there. Like,
yeah,
I'm taking off a
absolutely.
week. I'll see you next week. I'll be at
Exactly.
Sundance.
Because part of
Shit,
the
I'll even
problem,
commute every day. Like,
right, for you, it's nothing.
right.
Part of the problem with Sundance is that there's the pass, there's food and lodging, there's the plane ticket, and then it's all so much. The pass is like 500 something dollars or even more. It's like, oh well, there's bundles. No,
Right.
no, that's not gonna
Right.
help.
Yeah, and
But
them just moving next door to Colorado is some bullshit.
right, why put make all that fuss? That was insane. Yeah.
Crazy.
So,
Well, we thank you again for listening to this episode of It's a Stream of Life podcast with Brandon and Lauren. We will see you in 2 weeks where we'll continue our Oscar talk and probably discuss whatever else happens in entertainment. The news cycle has been slow. Like this past week,
yeah,
literally
not
nothing was
much.
going on.
Right.
So we definitely talk about the Oscar stuff. We'll, of course, talk about the other 2 episodes of Stranger Things. And then soon we'll talk about our best of TVs and movies for 2025 before going to 2026. So
Absolutely.
until then, keep on streaming.
Peace.